We're back with another episode. Welcome back to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to hit the download button and subscribe to our podcast wherever podcasts are available.
Welcome back here at another episode of the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler.
Don't sound too excited now.
Yes, today is Saturday.
It's a Saturday in October.
Oh,
Ooh, cut
yeah.
that. That's just not.
No, every time you sing, I'm going to keep it in the podcast. I just want you to know
No.
that. You have no choice. I'm the one that's doing the editing. Thank you.
It's a tick. It's not even a real.
It's not a tick. That's your personality. It's just who you are. But that God made you that way, so that's a wonderful thing. I'm not saying it in a derogatory way. I think that's a really amazing thing that you know.
Cut the mics.
Bring cheer to everybody. All right, good people. So we're going to be talking about a few things today. We're going to be talking about, of course, with Trump and Biden.
I'm tired of politics.
I'm so tired of politics too. Y'all do need to get y'all asses out and vote.
Vote so we can stop talking about politics.
Seriously, at least for the next 4 years until there's another major election. I mean, we still got our, county elections and blah, blah, blah. We're also going to be talking about the Kenneth Walker interview that he did with Gayle
King.
I was like, does Gayle have a last name? But yeah, she does.
She's just Gayle now.
It's Gayle King. For those of you that don't know, Kenneth Walker is the former boyfriend of Breonna Taylor. We're also going to be talking about Ice Cube with regard to the Trump administration. We're going to be talking about some social media, some hot topics in social media. And let's just go ahead and get on into it. We'll be right back after the music.
Ooh. You remember in Hannah Montana? And they're like, oh.
I hope you know I keep these in there, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So we're not here before you long, as the Baptist pastors will say. I'm not gonna be up before you long, saints. All right. So this week, first of all, let's start off by this. This is a very important time.
Wait. First of all,
Okay.
how was your week?
Oh, that's right. We have to talk about each other's week. My week was actually pretty cool. Of course, I was in the COVID unit yet again this week.
You live there or what?
Oh, I feel like sometimes I do. I'm so sick of it. Yeah, my week was pretty good. I only had like one booger of a patient this week. Everybody else was really pretty good. I don't even have like any crazy stories about anything other than that one booger of a patient.
This week was pretty chill.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question for you. Are you the kind of person that when someone asks you, how's it going? Are you just like, good, works good, I'm good? Or do you have like actual things to bring up?
Sometimes I have actual things to bring up. It just depends on who the person is and kind of just the vibe that I feel from them. I try my best not to complain a whole lot just because you never know what that person is actually going through. So I try to just, even if I'm having a shitty week, I'll just be like, oh no, life is amazing. It's amazing. And I'll just say it until I believe it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
about you?
I'm a chronic, like, it's good, I'm good, it's fine, I'm fine, it's good. But I don't know.
But it's not fine. It's not good.
I just never do the deep work to be like, oh, it's good. This week I did this, and that, and this is going this way, and yada, yada. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's good. Whatever.
Yeah, it just depends on who you're talking to. I mean, because when somebody asks you that question and just say, how's your week going? They're not looking for a dissertation. They're just trying to,
But then why ask if you don't want to
they're
really
just saying
know?
it just to be polite. Just to say, oh, hey, girl.
Well, I don't like that.
That's like when you say, hi, good morning. How are you? I'm great. How are you? Good. Have a great day. And then that's it. That's just
I'm just going to start going off on people. You want to know how I really am? Let me tell you.
Well, that's like the old folks do stuff like that. Like, how you doing, grandma? Well, I got this water on my knee. My back hurt. My bra too tight. My hip shake from the left to the right. And, your cousin over there got that COVID-ness. And then Cheryl went over there to the thing. And then, Fred, he died. Grandma, I don't even want to know how the rest of your week went. I'm good. I'm good. I am good.
Maybe I'm just an old soul.
Perhaps.
Quizás.
Did you cuss at me in Spanish? What does that mean?
Quizás means perhaps.
Oh, listen, first of all, you can't use these random. You know what we should start doing on this podcast? Doing a Spanish word of the week.
Palabras de español. No.
Or a phrase. A phrase of the week.
Yeah.
And we should do it specifically for the rehab corner. So for those PTs, OTs, and speech therapists that do not speak Spanish, we are going to give you a Spanish phrase to help you get through a treatment and or evaluation
Yeah,
session.
let's have the two therapists that don't speak Spanish give you a Spanish phrase to use. Perfect. I hope this goes great.
Where's Coitha when you need her?
I know.
Shouts out to my coworker Coitha, who we use all the time to translate Spanish. The physicians will try to use her and say, "Hey, don't you speak Spanish?"
You look like you speak Spanish.
Right. Can you go ahead and translate that this patient's going to die and let them know?
She's like, sorry, I don't speak that language.
She's like, "No, I don't speak Spanish, even though Spanish was my first language that I learned." Shouts out to Coitha. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Do we want to talk about anything else, or just go ahead and get into it?
No.
Let's just dive in.
You didn't ask me how my week was, but it's fine.
I did. I said, "How was your week?"
Oh.
And then
my
you were
God.
like, "Wait, let me ask you a question." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I'm not ignoring you. I've been interrupting you a lot lately, and I need to get
You're so rude.
better about it. I am so rude, but I just it's like holding in gas for me. Like I need to let it out. I just have a thought and it's got to come out. I don't even care if no one responds. I just got to
Okay. Interesting. So how was your week, Alyssa?
Well,
Since you're
now that
begging
you've
me.
asked, it was fine. This week was it was long. Was your week long?
Yes,
It
very
felt
much
like
so.
painstakingly long, but nothing, I think because nothing crazy happened.
Right.
It was just a very normal week. I watched Requiem for a Dream last night because I wasn't sad enough. So I just felt I would dive into my
So you're
feelings.
sad because you said that your week was fine, but clearly you're sad.
It was fine, but like the weather's kind of eh.
Yeah, it's getting cooler, but then it's not at the same time.
Yeah, my roommate
So-
wasn't home last night, so none of the lights in my apartment were on. It was
Yeah.
just me. I ordered food.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining. It's just that was the vibe.
yeah,
We dove into it.
yeah.
Have you seen Requiem for a Dream?
No. I'm sorry, say it slowly. Requiem for a Dream? Mm-hmm. Requiem. What is that?
It's usually a Catholic mass for funerals.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think it has it's
So
surely it
funeral
means
for a
other
dream. So
things.
the person that dreamed about dying or a funeral or something?
It's like it's one of those movies, you know. You gotta think about it. It's weird. It's
Oh,
from
it
the
makes
90s.
you think? Oh, no, I don't want to watch that.
Jared Leto's in it.
No, not on a Friday. Friday, I need to watch something fun. What did I watch yesterday? I watched something with Tyler Perry because it's funny.
Medea.
What else? Yeah.
I can do bad all by myself.
I don't even remember which one it was.
What's
But I
your favorite
watched-
Tyler Perry movie?
My favorite Tyler Perry movie or play?
Oh God. Movie.
Movie, I would say, the Why Did I Get Married? One, those are pretty good. My least favorite is The Family Reunion. Ugh, bad acting.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Diary of a Mad Black Woman. I did not like the fake lace front that Shamar Moore had with those horrible ass braids. Those were horrible. Just
It
saying.
was that for you.
Oh my God, it was horrible. The worst. All
right.
But anyway.
I can do bad all by myself where she's crying in the beginning because her husband beats her and then she throws all his clothes out.
No. He doesn't really beat her. He just throws her ass out of the house.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, and he's the lawyer that gets shot and then she retaliates.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I'm here with you.
She's like, "Stop making those bubbles," as he's drowning because he's paralyzed.
Oh yeah, that is what happens.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, that was pretty great revenge. Well, you know, they say if you're really over something, if you had the opportunity to get revenge, would you do it? Yes, and I'm still over it. So that was pretty funny. But
Okay,
yeah.
and now you can jump into the
All right.
topics.
Now we're going to go ahead and dive into our topics. So first and foremost, voting started this week in the state of Texas for those who are Texas residents. We started on Tuesday, which was October the 13th, 14th.
Sure, let's let
Yeah,
that
we'll
rock.
just go with that. Yeah, Tuesday. Just go back into the calendar. And early voting actually started. I went on the very first day, and the place where I go voting is a little courthouse out in the little country, and it's so cute. And they have these nice little old white ladies that come out there, and usually they used to give you like, you know, sugarless lemonade and like sugar cookies, like, oh, thank you for voting. But of course, this year they couldn't do it just because of COVID, but they were still there. Everybody had masks on. There was literally no line. I went in and they were like, "Are you here for voting?" Yes, I am. They directed me to where I needed to go. They got my ID, logged me in, gave me my little slip, and was like, "Okay, here's your voter ID number. You can go to any booth you want." Literally, there was only one other guy in there that was voting. And this was at like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super easy,
Some people
super
are
quick.
standing in line for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, in the state of Georgia, they started early voting this week as well. And some people were literally standing in line for 5 hours.
There's a girl I went to high school with, posted on Instagram. She was like, I talked to a friend I haven't talked to in a while. I watched, it was like Sleepless in Seattle or something. Like she watched full movies. She had
Yeah.
full conversations.
Yeah, it's insane the amount of how long it actually takes to stand in line. But the beauty is, if you can stand in line for concert tickets, if you can stand in line at the grocery store, you can stand in line for these Black Friday sales. You have no excuse to stand in line for voting when this counts and really will affect the next 4 years of your life.
Yeah, I don't do lines, so.
Did you go early voting? Clearly not.
Not yet.
Well, it ends today.
No, it does not.
Yeah, it does. It's only for a week. Yeah. They only do it for a week.
Well, might also be standing in line then.
Oh, God.
November 3rd.
Yeah. I did that once where I didn't last year. No. Sorry. In 2016, I did not early vote because I normally always early vote because I hate lines. But I was in line for like an hour and a half and I had just gotten off work and I was so tired. But I was like, you know what? People have fought and died for me to be able to have the opportunity to be able to exercise my right to vote. And how dare I disrespect them by not taking my ass out there and voting. So either vote by going in physically or sending off your mail-in ballots. Here's what does irritate me. Here's what does irritate me about voting. People who are not registered to vote, who have the ability to be registered, piss me off. Because you saying, oh, well, I don't know how to register or I don't know where to go and blah, blah, blah. So you mean to tell me you can get on Facebook for any other reason, you can get on Instagram for any other reason, you can go and Google anything else, but you can't Google how to register to vote, but then have the audacity to sit here and complain about stuff that happens when you didn't exercise your right to vote? Like, come on, people. You have, felons who literally lost their ability to be able to vote and have paid their debts to society and has had their voter rights taken away from them.
Do you get to vote once you're out of jail?
No. If you're a felon,
what?
There was a certain amount of time where you can apply. I think correct me if I'm wrong. There's one young lady, her name is Valencia Gunder. We actually went to college together. And she works with an amazing organization that she has called Make the Homeless Smile. And she works with the homeless population, but she also advocates for women in prison because she was in prison as well at one point, or jail at one point. Sorry, not prison. She went to jail for a period of time and she lost her right to vote. And she has always been a great advocate of voting. And she works with, different legislators to try to get people's their voter rights restored. And she actually, I think last year, was able to get back her right to vote. So there is an appeal process and you have to pay, restitution and all these different kind of things in order to get your rights back to vote.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I forget it's an actual privilege. I'm just like, yeah, we all get to vote.
Yeah, no. If you're a felon, you get your privilege taken away and you can get it restored. I think it depends on maybe what you've done, or I don't know, a whole bunch of history about that. I just know from following her as, on Instagram and on social media that she lost her right to vote when she went to jail. And she was able to get it back, years later because she literally fought for it. And there are different laws and stuff that they passed in order for felons to get back their rights to vote. Because of course they make it difficult.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you know there's a city where there's a city where a bunch of sex offenders moved and it's out in the middle of nowhere and the whole city is sex offenders because they all were like, fuck this, because now in the city you have to register and you have all these stipulations and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, a whole city of sex offenders?
Where is the city at? So we know never to live there or go there or travel through there.
I saw it on TikTok. Let me see my phone.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry.
Because what my mom was talking, she met with her financial advisor the other day or something. And she was like, I want you to meet blah, blah, blah with them and set things up. And I said, I know everything I need, Mom, because I get on TikTok. I follow... I follow investment TikTok, so there's nothing your little friend can
does
tell
does this have something like, are they getting their voter rights taken away or something like that, or what?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, they don't have their voter rights, right? Because they're all sexual offenders.
Yeah, I think sexual offenders, that is considered a felony when you sexually assault a minor. I think that is considered a felony. I can't see sexually assaulting a minor a misdemeanor.
Number 2 is Miracle Village in Florida. That is a city where only sex offenders live.
How the hell does that have to be Florida?
Sex offenders decided to create their own city out in the middle of nowhere since it's hard for them to find places to live due to their criminal records. And Miracle Village is the largest community of registered sex offenders in the United States with over 300 residents. Number 3 is...
And that's on Florida. That's yours. That's your...
I am, first of all,
let
me preface this by saying, yes, I am born and raised and I am from Florida. However, I am no longer a resident of Florida. Okay. I've not been a resident for a while, but of course it would be in freaking Florida. Oh, that is so annoying. So anyway, people go out and vote. Exercise your right to vote. Even if you don't know who you're going to vote for, just vote for Biden. It's fine.
You got to fight for your right, people.
Exactly. Like, people have come before you, and, not even just about, African Americans, even though every African American that has the opportunity to vote, you should be out there voting. But even for women, they tried to silence the female vote as well. So understand that women couldn't vote at a certain time. So you need to exercise your rights as well.
And that's on suffrage.
Yeah, because women actually control the vote, even though they think it's men. It's white women who control the vote in this country. So if you're going to reach out to people and say, hey, go rock the vote, go tell white women that, okay? And that's on white privilege. All right. Anyway, also, too, kind of piggybacking off of the voting for this week, we all know that in the news, Trump basically, was positive for COVID, went to Walter Reed. Now he's negative mysteriously. And he decided to go ahead and go to his travels to Florida. I wonder if he went to, what was that place called? Wildflower Village? What it was called?
Miracle Village.
Miracle Village. Where did I get wildflower from? Anyway, so he took his trip to Florida to campaign and all that kind of stuff. Joe Biden actually had a town hall meeting this week that was televised. And then Trump, of course, to be petty, decided to do a town hall on the same night at the same exact time. But what I thought was really responsible of the Biden administration, first of all, even too with regard to Kamala Harris, 2 people on her team actually tested positive for COVID. And she was very socially responsible to say, hey, I don't care who these 2 people are. I don't care how close to me they are, how far away from me they are. We are going to not travel this week. Because we want to be safe. And even though it was only 2 people on her team, she decided not to travel this week and to practice social responsibility, a thing that unfortunately 45 does not have the capacity to do.
Do you think she would have done that if he would have not gotten COVID?
Yes. Only because I feel like, even though I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris, I think she's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? She's just the type of person who don't play. Like, she don't play with stuff like that she's not, not familiar with, not aware. She seems to really care about and like focus on people who are in her inner circle. So I don't think she would do anything to try to jeopardize, her health, number one, her staff's health, other people who are around her. So I don't think she would jeopardize that. I don't think that this all means that much to her, or that she would lose a leg in the race. Like, you're already the vice presidential candidate. Like, nobody can take that away. So I don't think that would have hurt her campaign at this point. Even if Biden decided to cancel the town hall because God forbid, he was positive. So I think she still would have canceled her travels. But and then also too, there was this issue this week with regard to voting, and with regard to Ice Cube. Ice Cube came under fire this week because of his attachment to the Trump administration. So basically, the senior Trump advisor, or the senior advisor for the Trump administration, Katrina Pearson, she tweeted out, I quote, "Shout out to Ice Cube for his willingness to step up and work with the Donald Trump administration to help develop the Platinum Plan. Learner's gonna learn. Learner's gonna learn. Really, Monica? Leader's gonna lead. Haters gonna hate. Thank you for leading." So then Ice Cube posted, I put out the CWBA. Facts. I put out the CWBA. Both parties contacted me. Dem said we'll address the CWBA after the election. Trump campaign made some adjustments to their plan after talking to us about CWBA. And so that is basically the, what did I say CWBA was again? It's
Christians with badass.
Anything with the word Christians and ass, I don't think should go together. It is the contract with Black America, basically. And so Ice Cube has basically been under fire for being called a sellout, and the fact that he tweeted years ago that he would never work with a person like Donald Trump. But then all of a sudden now you want to work with Donald Trump, and he was on the Roland Martin show. And I'm going to play a little clip from that where he talked to Roland Martin about why he chose to work with the Trump administration. So here we go.
That the Trump campaign greatly overstated your involvement for the purpose of them being able to say, we have attached ourselves to Ice Cube. Did you believe that you were used politically for their purposes as opposed to really what happened?
Look, I knew whoever I engaged with would use that politically. I don't care about that part. The part I care about is getting something done. Look, my plan is called the contract with Black America. So all of them lacking when it comes to that. So that's what I'm pushing. So anybody who's going to implement those plans into their plan, then I'm gonna take a look at it.
You believe that?
But both plans are lacking, and that's why we become educated voters for real. And then you pick who you want to pick. But at the end of the day, for us not to engage with both sides of the aisle to fix this, which I think is an American problem, that to me ain't gonna help us in the end. What's gonna help us is once we, realize how much power we have. Now, you said that, of course, Trump didn't stop all these things or didn't mention these things. Okay, maybe it was before he knew he needed the black vote as much as he do. You never know. This is what deals are made of. So I don't know what they're gonna do. But both plans.
So basically, what he was saying is that he reached out to both the Democrats and the Republicans to try to fix this problem with regard to the different disparities that occur within the African American community. And he did go on record to say this is not a minority issue. He's strictly talking about black people, and with regard to the wealth gap and different things that are happening in the African American community. But people are basically calling him a sellout because of the fact that he's even willing to work with the Trump administration. But what do you think about how his involvement with the Trump administration, who, again, this man is a known racist and a known bigot, how does his reputation now appear in the eyes of the African American community, who looks at him as like a pillar and, he has this, great influence?
This country is run by white bigots and racists. And there's all these institutional things in place that have stopped black people from progressing, and black people can't fix it.
Yeah.
Right. So I understand hey, Donald Trump's a piece of shit and we don't want him attached to this bill. But also you have to understand, like, white people are the only people who can put things into place that will actually move up an entire race of people in the country. So it sucks to be stuck in that place. It's the same thing. Remember when Jay-Z started working with the NFL and everyone was, you're such a sellout, Colin Kaepernick this, and he was like, what do you think I can do unless I'm in that room?
Exactly.
Making those. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's tough too, because even with Ice Cube going in and having an agenda, and then like a couple of years ago, Steve Harvey was like called out and called like an Uncle Tom because he was seen, of course, by TMZ. Coming out of the Trump Towers, having a meeting with Trump about the disparities in the housing authority when it comes to minorities. And people were like, why are you even working on the housing authority? Like, bruh, can we work on something else? How about police brutality and some other shit? And, of course, with Kanye West, endorsing Trump and doing all this other kind of stuff. But I think his was more on some clownery for real, because there was no merit to what he was actually doing. And he's like, well, I think he's a great guy. And it's like, okay, I see where Ice Cube is coming from with regard to, like, listen, they use us all the time. Let's now use them, flip the script, and get what we need from them.
He even said he presented it to both sides, and the Democrats were like, yeah, cool, we got to pause this though, and whatever the Trump administration's plan for it was, or whatever the way they were going to spin it, they listened and they talked to him, and they were going to address it now. So at what point do you have to put your shit aside? Politicians are politicians. They say things and they do things and they move, and a lot of stuff's in silence, and a lot of stuff is just as a means to an end for other things. So at what point are you like, all right, well, at least at least we can make some headway going this way, and like if it happens to be with a dumbass face to it, right, at least progress will happen.
Exactly.
And opposed to like, okay, we can stay the blue route, and it'll take 20 plus years and we'll get around to it eventually if they win this, all these other things, right? And then you have this great plan that you could have started making headway on, but you wanted to have it in this prettier package.
Even what's her name, Cheryl Underwood, who's a comedian, and she's also the co-host of The Talk on CBS. And I remember when the 2016 election was going on, and she basically told everybody, she was like, listen, I know I'm an African-American woman, but I am a Republican. And she was like, I get a lot of flack for that when I tell people I'm a Republican, but she was like, you have to understand, Republicans are the people who are making these laws. Like, they control, they control the Senate at this point. Like, Democrats control the House, we understand that, but they control the Senate. So they can block anything, and they are the majority in Congress. And so she's like, we as African Americans need to understand that we need to be sitting at these tables hearing what they are saying about us. And if nobody's in the room, just going back to what you said, if nobody is in the room, how do you know, number one, what they think about you, number two, what their plans are for you, and then number three, how to fix them. So I think everybody, I think people who call Ice Cube, you know, an Uncle Tom, I understand from that standpoint how you can see him as that. And I can also see it from the spectrum of, well, he's, you know, he's trying to push an agenda to get something done. And if this is the person to fix it, he's not saying go vote for Trump. He's just saying, listen, people on his administration have agreed to listen to this idea that I have to push this black agenda forward. And I'm going to listen to what they have to say and listen to their ideas. Whereas the Democrats decided they didn't want to listen to it right now. They weren't opposed to it, but they're not moving as quickly as I would like, as the Trump administration is obviously trying to take advantage and trying to get some black voters and all that kind of stuff.
He's also just a figurehead. He's a loud, obnoxious figurehead.
Yeah.
And he does make a lot of things hard and make a lot of unilateral decisions, but there are so many other people involved below him.
Exactly.
That have, you know what I mean? And just because, like, yeah, there's all these people that left the Republican Party and left the White House when he became president, but a lot of people didn't, and they were like, the only way we can do something and actually have a part in this and maybe, you know,
fix it
is by staying here. And a lot of people could say, how could you do that? How could you work for him?
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. But they're still there, and
Yeah.
it's like those are the people putting, you know, the actual work in. Eventually it works all its way up.
Yeah.
The first time you present a plan to anyone, it's not what it ends up being, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, even from a company standpoint, you know, you have, let's say, you know, for example, Papa John's. So the CEO and founder of Papa John's, you know, was on record for saying the N-word, right? And so you have all these people who partner with these different schools and different colleges and different companies that provide so many different, you know, opportunities for other people, even though they may be black or whatever, even if they're not black, even if they're an ally to African Americans, they still may come in and say, okay, you call somebody a nigga, we don't agree with it, but we're not gonna let your one mistake ruin all of this legwork that we've done to try to build this company to where it is. So we're going to stay because we know what we're doing and what we want to do and how much that impacts, you know, what we're doing. So, I mean, I totally get it from both sides. I mean, I don't think Ice Cube has ever really done anything like this where he has,
I mean, this is the same person who NWA, what does that stand for? You know,
Exactly.
fuck the police. Like,
exactly.
I don't think he's had this drastic change, and he's
Yeah.
now this like huge right-wing Republican,
Yeah.
and he's like pro-Trump and all this stuff. I think he is tired of seeing what's happening to black people.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care if you're blue, red, polka dotted, or purple. If you can make this plan work, or
Yeah.
you can help me to elicit some kind of change, then I'm going to listen to you.
Exactly. I think maybe what would have helped is if he was the one who released that he was working with the Trump administration. But I think the fact that the senior advisor released it almost seemed like he did it in secret. And I think that's from the general consensus on social media, I think that's where people are kind of coming from. Like, oh my God, how could you work with Trump and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, he's working with an administration who's in a position of power to change things for our good. So he has to be at the table, even if it is with this idiot. I mean, unfortunately, he does have to be.
And even if they just are talking to him because it looks good for them right now,
Yeah.
you don't know what'll stick and what won't.
Exactly.
You just got to take the chances.
Yeah.
I don't know at this point.
Very, very true. So I just pray that whatever
I'm with
his
Ice
agenda-
Cube is what I have to say.
I mean, I just pray whatever his agenda is, that he makes it very clear, concise, and concrete, and that there is some positive reform from it, and not just, again, having a conversation about just, oh, well, yeah, we want to do this and we want to do that. And like Steve Harvey, where did you get with the housing authority? Like, you went and talked to him about affordable housing for black people? Okay, where did you get? A canceled show. Anyway.
Jose, Steve.
Jose.
Maybe he'll change the national anthem to "Fuck the Police."
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I mean, these people are trying to start a race war if he doesn't win the presidency, so I highly doubt it. I mean, that could be the new black national anthem.
That'd be fun.
Lift every voice and fuck the police
Hey.
till earth and heaven ring. That's so horrible. That is so horrible, but it was funny. Anyway.
Cut it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna leave that in there. So that's basically what's been going on, and also in current news this week, there was actually an interview that was done with Kenneth Walker. For those of you that don't know who Kenneth Walker is, he is the former boyfriend of Breonna Taylor.
Say her name.
That's right. He sat down with Gayle King to interview about the details of what happened, and in one of the clips they showed where there's a body cam footage of the police officers when they took him out of the home. He was literally wailing and crying and was just like, we didn't know who you guys were. Like, you didn't even announce yourself. Like, if you would have announced yourself, we would have, answered the door. And the fact that the police officer says to him, well, it's unfortunate that he wasn't shot. When this man is literally trying to, defend him and his girlfriend's home. So let's just listen to a clip of this.
Coming for help because I called 911.
So you think they're coming to help you?
Yes. So when I come outside, there's guns pointed at me. I'm being threatened with dogs and whatever else.
Don't look back. Put your hands on your head. That's what's going on.
The officer asked me, was I hit by any bullets? I said no. He said, that's unfortunate. So that threw me off too. So I'm like, what's he mean by that?
That's unfortunate, he said to you after you've just lost your girlfriend and you don't know what is happening. What did you think when he said that?
I didn't know what to think, and I really wasn't worried about me. Only reason I'm even out here is because the only way for her to get help in there is for me to be out here.
We were scared. No, we didn't know who it was. We didn't even know who it was.
And I was in the back of the car. I don't know. I got drugged all the way down the street. It was cold. It was wet. I thought they was.
So the more and more this case unravels, the more and more angry I get. Because the evidence is sitting clear, and then the stupid attorney general, he's like, oh, I now have to get armed guards and security to monitor my family because they are credible threats.
You should have just done your job.
Do your job. Do your job. Like, you're put in that position of power to serve. Like, I think politicians and people who are in political positions of power forget that you are in the business of service. You're literally a servant to the people. Every day that we go to work, we are what? We are offering customer service, right? We are offering you a service, but we have to be diligent. We have to be nice. We have to be respectful. We have to be intentional about what we do. Doctors, nurses, everybody, we all have to be diligent about what we do. And we are in the business of service where you have to be put first and at the center of everything. Why is it that the medical field is held to this standard of putting the customer and the patient first, but then other realms and other careers are not held to the same standard? You are here to serve the American people. We literally put you in these positions to serve us, not to be servants and peasants, right? Mm-hmm. But to literally have our best interests in mind and to put them in position. Why then is why is servanthood now a choice for you and not a mandate?
Because they're self-serving.
Seriously, like, that's not the purpose of the job. You're in the business of service. Like, I'm so annoyed. I try not to get mad on this podcast a lot because there are a lot of things that we cannot change. And people are like, voting to change everything. You're right. You're absolutely right. But it ain't going to change it today. And this is why you end up getting threats. I mean, it's the same thing. Code of the streets. You kill Pookie people going to come back and get you. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. What I am saying is that that's the reality of where we live. Like, you're in the business of service, people. If this was your mama, if this was your daddy, your daughter, your child, your sister, you be the first person out here protesting. But because you're in this position, because it doesn't touch your family, it's very easy for you to just turn a blind eye.
It's also, politics are it's all back end deals and favors and all of that shit. And you can't say this thing because it goes against this other thing that this person said, and they're in bed with you and you're in bed with them, and you can't piss them off because that'll do this, and that.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate. The fact that, this man reliving this horror of, again, being woken up in the middle of the night, defending him and his girlfriend, which is what a man is supposed to do. You know, him being the protector in that moment, and you know him trying to defend them, and then they're just like, "Oh, you're going to prison. That's where you're going. Oh, were you shot? Were you hit? Oh, that's unfortunate, bitch. What?" And then when somebody come and try to attack you, then you're going to be, "Oh, I need to get security." No. Keep that same energy that you had in that grand jury hearing. Keep the same energy, love. Oh, anyway, next subject. 'Cause I'm about to
Dude, speaking of body cam footage, you have not seen American Murder, right? The Family Next Door. Okay.
No, I want to see that though.
It's all found footage, basically. The documentary. Really? It's all like, because she posted a bunch of stuff on social media, the wife.
Yeah.
And so it's body cam footage from the officers. It's the recordings from the interviews at the police station. The body cams, man. Like that, I just want to watch the body cam footage. That's all I want.
Yeah.
All the time, forever. I just want to see exactly what happened.
Yeah. Is there a specific episode that you saw that was really interesting, or what was the latest episode?
So it's just one. It's a documentary.
Yeah.
So it's just one.
Oh, just
video.
one documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he basically, this isn't spoilers, but the friend of the wife calls the police because she's like, I dropped my friend off from the airport at like 3 a.m. yesterday. I've been calling her. She's not answering. It's not like her. And so they go over to the house and they're like, her car's here, whatever. They call the police. So it's the cop like showing up, trying to figure out what happens. The husband comes home, interviewing him, interviewing the family, interviewing the neighbors, and just seeing like, it's just so cool to see it from someone else's point of view.
Yeah.
You know?
To see it from the officer's point of view.
To see it from the officer's point of view. And I'm like, that's the truth.
Yeah. Literally.
Cameras don't lie.
Can't, unless you edit them.
Unless you
and cut stuff out of the video.
Yeah,
but,
then it's a lie. But
yeah,
just one stream.
Yeah, but even too, you know how many, you know, when they have these like murder mysteries and all that kind of stuff, and then they keep playing the footage over and over and over again, and every single time they play a piece of the footage, you see something totally different that you didn't see the first time. Like there's like on social media where they had these kids like running around doing something, and they were like, watch this video and watch a different kid every single time. And it's so freaking funny when they do stuff like that. But I think it's good that they have body cameras. I know a lot of police officers were very upset about the fact that they had body cameras, because I know that even in healthcare, if we were to have body cameras in healthcare, that we would be pissed like, oh, dang, now we got to watch what we say and we watch what we do. But also, too, it helps to keep you accountable. That's just like if a family member is in the room, it helps to keep you accountable at times, because you can't half-ass in front of somebody else watching you. And, you know, even if you have very high integrity, how many times a day does a patient ask you, can I have some water? And you're like, yeah, I'll go get you some water.
You forget to bring the fucking water.
As soon as you walk out of that room, somebody says something to you, and 2 hours later while you're charting, you're like, oh crap, I didn't bring Miss Johnson no water.
My favorite is when I move the urinal off the bed rail to put it down, and I forget to leave them with a urinal. Yeah. And I remember like at 5 o'clock driving home, right? Like, shit.
You're like, damn.
If I piss the bed, they don't have a urinal.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it happens all the time, but I think in these situations where, again, you know, certain situations happen, where people are being, you know, unarmed people are being killed and police brutality, you know, it is a good thing that they have body cameras. We need to see exactly what you're doing, because look at how many cases have come out now. We would have never even known about Breonna. We didn't even know about Breonna Taylor until 3 months after it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, even, what's his name? Aubrey,
Drake Graham.
What?
Aubrey Drake Graham?
No.
Oh.
The young man that was shot and killed in South Carolina for jogging. Really? You're going to bring it back to Drake? You're getting canceled. Anyway, yeah, he was even, I mean, the camera footage that they had, and the one guy was like, I saw the whole thing. You right. They did kill him. You sitting there videotaping it, and you trying to make it seem like you the white savior. Meanwhile, you had a hand in the whole thing, and that's why your ass in jail now. Anyway. All right, let's move on to something fun.
Let's talk about something fun.
Fast questions for you. Okay.
Oh, you want to do fast questions first? Cool. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. What food do you most crave?
Cheeseburgers.
Ooh, that's a good one. All right. What single appliance can you not live without? Fast questions. Fast.
Apple TV.
Apple TV. Really? That's the one appliance that you cannot live without?
Yeah.
Ma'am, I thought you were a coffee drinker.
Oh, the coffee. Yeah, but I can go to Starbucks.
Oh, God. I can't. All right. Would you rather have a rewind button or a pause button on your life?
Pause.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Take a nap and come back.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Figure out a good joke and come back.
Would you rather be a kid your whole life or an adult your whole life?
Kid.
I think I kind of agree with that. But it's like, what age?
Yeah.
Like,
no, if I could be 21, it'd be dope. My whole life.
I'd be 27. 27 was a great year for me. Great year.
Haven't hit it yet. Sorry, couldn't tell you.
Oh, that's right. You're 26. You freaking child. Anyway, all right. Last question. Would you rather never age mentally or never age physically?
Never age physically.
I agree.
I just watched Benjamin Button recently.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a sad movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was a cute little movie when he was a little old man in the wheelchair, but it was so cute. But
Dude,
it's so
but it
sad.
sucks because he's like this 19-year-old kid with all this like
Seriously.
backstory and yeah.
Listen, the funniest part of that entire movie was when they had the little church scene and the man was like, rise up in the wall. And he gets up and just boom, 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 and just falls to the floor.
Oh god.
Poor little Benji.
All right. You ready for fast questions?
Sure, let's do it.
Let me ask you this.
All right.
What's worse? Laundry or dishes?
Dishes.
Dishes? Same.
I hate washing dishes.
Taking a bath or taking a shower?
Which one is worse?
No, just which one's for you?
Oh, shower. Absolutely.
Shower.
All day.
Yeah, fuck baths.
Yeah, I hate baths.
All right. What's worse? Holding in a burp or a fart?
Holding in a fart. Good Lord, you feel like you're having a heart attack. And I do that every day at work, and I'm like, I got to let it out at some point.
This or that? Money or free time?
Money.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll take the money.
That's on being a tourist.
I feel like I have enough free time at this point in my life. Give me the money.
Candy corn or candy apples?
Neither.
No, that's not how it works.
No, candy corn is nothing but decorated wax.
What?
I guess I'll eat the candy
Dude,
apple
that's
then.
the best Halloween candy.
No,
candy
it's
corn.
not. No, it's not.
You're really pissing me off today with this.
You all need to write in the comments if you eat candy corn, you are
You're nothing. You're a good
You're a
person who
murderer.
loves spooky season.
No, you're a murderer and you're
but
a
only the
horrible
Brax
person.
candy corn. That's the best one.
All candy corn is disgusting and should be thrown away and burned immediately.
No, I will
Do you-
ride
okay,
with candy corn till the wheels fall off.
Let me ask you this. Do you eat Peeps?
Of course.
Okay, well, I eat marshmallow Peeps.
Well,
But
there you go.
But most people who eat candy corn don't like Peeps.
Do you like Tootsie Rolls?
Of course.
You're
Heck
disgusting.
yeah.
That's candy wax.
What?
That is candy wax.
It's chocolate.
I'm pissed that you even brought up candy
It's
corn.
chocolate.
It's chocolate wax.
You eat freaking Whoopers, so who
I don't
cares?
eat Whoppers. You eat
Whoopers.
Whoppers.
It's Whoopers.
You eat Whoppers and Milk
No.
Duds. That's trash
Milk
candy.
Duds are good.
Y'all, we were at work the other day and there was a candy bar and I said, hey, bring me some candy from the candy bar, please. And she said, okay. When I tell you this girl brought me a fucking bag and it had Whoppers, Milk Duds, Sweet Tarts. I said, what the fuck is this?
And I had Fun Dip. That was all they
And
had.
Fun Dip. But I was like, ma'am.
And Smarties. They had Smarties.
They had trash candy.
Listen,
it was trash candy.
I don't eat Whoopers because when I was a kid, when I was in middle school, I ate a whole box of Whoopers and I got sick and threw it up.
I need you to know that it's Whoppers.
It's
I need
Whoopers.
you to know that you're saying this wrong.
It's definitely Whoppers. God. It's Whoopers.
Anyway,
Whoop,
you have a
whoop, whoop,
trash
there it is.
taste in candy.
You says the person who eats candy corn.
Dude, candy corn is good.
Candy corn is disgusting. I would rather eat the black licorice than eat candy corn. And I hate black
Do you like
licorice.
Twizzlers?
I love Twizzlers.
Same. Okay.
Strawberries. The pull and peel or the regular though?
Regular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Now we
fuck
can be
with
back on the
pull
same
and peel.
track.
All right, here we go. And we're chucking along, everybody.
Yay, we're back to normal.
Last one.
Uh-huh.
Old Denzel, young Denzel.
Old Denzel.
Old Denzel.
Yeah. Old Denzel. First of all, Denzel has kind of had a rebirth.
Hey.
Like,
Also, can we talk about how the guy from Lovecraft Country looks more like Denzel than Denzel's son does?
he does.
Isn't that wild?
He really does. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Lovecraft Country,
Love that show.
I'm finally caught up.
Dude, it's so wild.
It is wild and amazing, but I love the dynamic of it. I just think they just have amazing acting all the way around in
Yeah.
that movie. I don't think there's any one person who the main character, what's his name? Tick. I don't like when he cries. You need to work on your crying. Your crying fucking sucks. I'm sorry. It just does. Everything else about your acting is amazing, but when you cry, you have this really weird face and I just can't. I can't.
Interesting.
Yeah. But everything else, I think every person, the antagonists in the movie, just the whole plot and scheme. I absolutely love it.
I'm really loving HBO recently because they're doing a very good job of like the period piece with new age music.
Yeah,
it just feeds
yeah.
my soul in a way.
Yeah,
I
I think
do it
that
in Watchmen
soundtrack-
too. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Watchmen?
No, I haven't.
See, okay, so Watchmen and this one, there's
Wait, how many seasons are there of Watchmen?
I think there's only one.
Oh, okay, good. I have time to catch up.
Yeah, but they do a whole thing about the Tulsa massacre, and I was just like, so we're really doing it this year.
Yeah, well, that kind of piggybacks off of Lovecraft Country because they talk about the massacre as well in there.
Yeah. So
Yeah. 'Cause
I
I
don't
only-
know what table they all got together in, and we're like, okay, this year,
Yeah.
real Black history, we're talking about it.
Pretty much. Well, because Jordan Peele is the executive producer of Lovecraft Country,
That makes so much sense.
but also Misha Green, and there was actually some stuff on online that was talking about again how African American women are always just set to the side. That this girl is basically one of the main writers of the show as well as a producer, and how this is mostly her content, even though Jordan Peele's name is on it. But
So all we know is Jordan Peele.
exactly, and nobody's saying Misha Green, you know. But she is an integral part of this show, and the reason why it is the way that it is. But of course, I mean, and with anything that you do, if people are not knowledgeable about Misha Green and Jordan's name, you know, brings the people in and the views in, obviously you got to use his name. I mean, his name is just going to be pushed to the forefront, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But prayerfully, Misha Green's name will be pushed to the forefront.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Misha
It's
Green.
just such an original concept.
Yeah.
And an interesting show. The writing's awesome. I mean, it's HBO, so
Yeah.
anything they do is bomb.
I think that soundtrack though is amazing.
Oh my God. Do you have Spotify?
Yes.
Spotify has the playlist.
Really?
Of the season, yeah.
Oh, cool beans. I got to go look at that then.
Yeah, it does. And it's just like old music, new. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, and it's like the music actually comes in at the right
The perfect
time. Like
time.
whoever their musical director is, it's absolutely amazing. So
Lovecraft Country is a
Yeah.
perfect like period piece, spooky show for the season. Black Indiana Jones with sci-fi elements.
yeah, but it's not like it's demonic to a degree, but it's not like
Yeah, my
it's
mom,
not horror.
every time they start talking in weird like spells or something, she's
Yeah.
like, mute it. I don't want that in the house. I don't want that in the
Yeah,
house.
like what is it called? The language of Adam. I'm just like, that's a
there's
bit
some
weird.
weird. I like stuff like that though,
Yeah.
like spooky stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know. This show literally is like if you put a bunch of concepts into a bowl
Mm-hmm.
and you pulled them out playing a game or like a writing exercise,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "There's no way this is gonna work."
Yeah,
but it works.
But they connect it all together and they connect the dots. Yeah, I like to see where it's going to go. I pray that they get approved for a second season because the
tomorrow.
season is not over yet. Is there tomorrow the season finale?
I think tomorrow. Ooh, I want to say yes, but also I don't know.
Because that's only 8 episodes. Then
Maybe
or
not.
9 episodes. So I hope they at least get them to 16 or 12 or
Dude,
something.
usually
you know?
with HBO though, it's like 10 your first season.
Really? Okay. Well, then they'll have 2 more then if that's the case. But then we got to wait a whole nother year.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Euphoria,
Yeah.
Insecure.
Ooh, guess what just came back out for the 7th season? The 100 on Netflix. Did you watch that?
I only watched the first season, and then I was like, this blonde girl's so
Alyssa.
whiny.
Okay, she is. Clark is very annoying, but it's so good. So I'm on like the 3rd episode of the 7th season.
I'll have to give it a try again. Because
really
was
good.
the 100 CW?
Yes, it was.
I fuck hard
Yeah.
with the CW. I started watching Black Lightning.
Black Lightning is amazing. I
Yeah.
saw the first 2 seasons. There's a 3rd season that's out now. I still haven't watched it just yet. But China McClain does amazing. Chris, what's his name?
Elvis Crespo. Oh, you don't know who
No,
that
his name is Cress Williams. That's his name, Cress Williams. Jeez. They do an amazing job on that show. And it was kind of cheesy when I first started watching it because it was a quarantine and I was like, okay, let me just watch something, whatever. Because, Cress Williams was on Living Single as Khadijah James's boyfriend and love interest.
And he was
Scooter.
he's the dad, right? That's
he's
what
the
you're
dad.
talking about. He was in Magnolia.
Yes. And
What is that show called? Do you remember?
No. He was also
Sweet Magnolia? Whatever the Rachel Bilson show was
Yeah.
on CW.
Yeah, he also played the husband of Dr. Miranda Bailey on Grey's Anatomy. He was Tucker.
Oh, yeah.
Tucker Williams.
The first husband number 1.
Husband number 1.
And then she got boyfriend
Divorce.
number 2.
And she's married to boyfriend number 2.
Yeah. Chef's kiss to him
Listen,
on that show.
Shonda Rhimes always has beautiful men.
That's what I'm
Beautiful
saying.
men.
She knows how to pick them.
She does. McDreamy, McSteamy, they're all hot.
All of them. Everyone on that show is hot.
Yeah, very true. Very true. But yeah, the 100 is come back on. Watch that. Watch
Give it a
Black
try.
Lightning.
Well, then you need to watch American Family so we can talk about
American Family?
our
What's that?
American Murder, the family next door.
Yes. I need to watch that.
Because I need to discuss that man. Insane.
Have you ever seen Abducted in Plain Sight?
That sounds familiar.
Okay, on Netflix, listen, y'all need to watch Abducted in Plain Sight. Actually, I was listening to a podcast, the Pat Down with Miss Pat. She's an amazing comedian. And the reason why I watched it is because she had it on one of her episodes. And that thing was hilarious. It was sad, but it was hilarious because it was a true story about how this man literally came and abducted this 12, 13-year-old girl and then convinced her that aliens came down from the sky and told her to basically have sex with him and have babies and all this other kind. It was insane, but it was just incredibly insane. The twists and turns that happens with the parents as to why they basically, just let him kidnap their child. It was just stupid. It's stupid. It was like in the 1970s that this happened. It was really crazy, but you should watch Abducted in Plain Sight on Netflix. It's pretty interesting.
I'll add it to the list.
Yeah. So what's happening in social media this week? Or what happened in social media this week?
Well, wasn't a crazy week, but
yeah,
everyone's pissed off at Figs.
Figs? Why are they pissed off at
Figs,
Figs?
the scrub place.
Yeah.
Figs posted on their social media a video of this girl walking out in her cute Figs overpriced scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a medical terminology book and it's flipped upside down. So it looks like she's reading it backwards like an idiot. And then they scroll, like they kind of zoom in on her ID badge and it says DO.
Mm-hmm. Which stands for?
Doctor of... I thought osteopathic medicine, but osteopathy.
Yeah. Which is still the study of
DOs are doctors that just aren't MDs. Practicing wise, is there like...
Wait, they don't go to medical school?
They go to DO school. I thought it was just a little more like, from my understanding, it's just a little more of...
Isn't it like more homeopathic or allopathic type medicine?
Something else about... Not massage. Oh, they're gonna come for us on this one.
Yeah.
Where's my phone?
Because now we're doing the same thing that Figs is doing.
Yeah. We're like, oh, what's the difference? But everyone was pissed off because they were like, you're a woman-led and founded company. You have this girl reading a book upside down. Why? And there's already like this weird thing between MD and DO, and they're just perpetuating it. And I obviously realized it was stupid and they had made a mistake, but Instagram went off.
Really?
I saw everyone retweeting that and posting it on their story, and they're like, this is disgusting. I will never buy Figs again.
Well, maybe this is a good thing for Figs because Figs is expensive. So maybe they'll start doing like 70% off and then I can get some Figs.
And then you can go run and get...
I'm going to get some Figs. Listen, if Papa John's can say nigga, I had Papa John's the other night.
Listen,
he ain't call me no
I'm
nigga.
not a DO.
Listen,
or an MD.
He didn't call me a nigga to my face.
He didn't say OTs are stupid.
Exactly.
The main difference between DO and MD is the philosophy. DOs practice osteopathic approach while MDs practice allopathic approach. So
wait, say it again. DOs practice homeopathic?
They have more osteopathic approach. So they're focusing more on the whole body, preventative care. Yeah. So they're just the real doctors.
Yeah, I mean that's what you should do anyway.
They're treating not the symptoms.
Right.
They're treating the
Which
whole person.
honestly, I feel like it's an overlapping of a discipline. I guess it's maybe between...
If I get orders from a DO or MD, it's the same shit.
It's the same stuff. Like, I mean, I could care less what your philosophy is if you come to the same conclusion of let's heal and fix the patient. Isn't that what the basis of their both of their disciplines? Like chiropractors and physical therapists go about healing the body through joints, bones, muscles, totally different. The result is still the same. Where if a patient comes with pain, fix the pain.
Mm-hmm. I think colloquially, if I'm using that term correct, which I'm probably not, there is some weird feud because there has been this notion that if you can't get into MD school, you go to DO school.
Interesting.
Yeah, which, I mean, that doesn't really mean shit because everyone going to DO school is still smart. They just, there's weird things why you can't get into med school. And med school is also, both schools are hard, but to get into med school, it's like ridiculously competitive.
Yeah, and I think
DO is becoming more competitive.
Right.
But you just have to have everything exactly as they want it, how they want to see it to get in, and that's not realistic.
Because med school, it's not hard to get into med school. It's hard to stay in there. And the reason why it's not, like you said, med school is very competitive. You are competing with 30,000 people. That's why you think, oh, it's so hard to get into med school. No, it's not. They can only accept so many people at so much time. And then even med students only have to keep a 2.0 in order to graduate. we as PTs and OTs, we had to maintain a 3.0 in school in order to graduate. And I'm like, don't we have the power to kill people? Okay, then so why aren't we held to the same level? I would have loved to just walk through a 2.0 in PT school, but I didn't. But I think even too, like, you know, with chiropractors, I know that there was this huge thing with the physical therapy field in chiropractors.
Oh yeah, y'all hate each other, right?
I don't hate chiropractors. You know why? Because when I was a kid, my mom was diagnosed with scoliosis, and I was about to say scoliopathic. I don't even know what that word is.
My mom is a scoliopathic.
Right. So she was diagnosed with scoliosis, and she threw her back out when we were kids.
That's where you get that from?
Yes, I think so. And so we used to go to a chiropractor because she went there, and they used to like adjust us, give us adjustments, and that's why I even learned never say the word crack to a chiropractor because it's disrespectful. It's just like, all PTs do is walk people, and all OTs do are wash people. So when you say that all chiropractors do is crack people's backs, like that's not really true. Like they're actually doing manipulation and manual therapy. And so because I had that experience before I went to PT school, even as a kid growing up, I literally used to get my back adjusted every Wednesday from the time I was in elementary school to the time I was in high school. And it was beneficial and it worked. And so when I got to PT school, I heard like the banter between PT and chiropractors, but I didn't see that because I'm like, I benefited from both, you know? So, but even too, we kind of get mad at chiropractors because
they don't need a prescription.
Yes, they can write prescriptions. They can order MRIs and X-rays, and
can
they
you
can
imagine if y'all could order MRIs? Y'all be ordering up a shit ton.
Oh, you doggone
MRIs.
Right. That lady who I thought was blind. I mean, who I didn't know was blind, but that was. Oh, I definitely would order her
let's
MRI.
get a CT on that one.
You doggone right. Because even when I was on clinicals in PT school, and I was in an outpatient clinic, and they literally like. We used to be able to do, because I was in Georgia at the time where I was doing my clinical, and Georgia was a direct access state, which means that you didn't need to go to your primary care physician in order to come to a physical therapist. But in the state, you can only assess certain areas. So I think it was like your hips, your knees, low back, elbows. It seemed like everything in the body, honestly. But we don't diagnose, obviously. We can give a PT diagnosis. And when people would come in and you would see something that was like totally weird, like you try to do a provocation test, and literally they feel like, I feel like it's electricity going down my body. Get the fuck out of here. Go back to your PCP. It was like, hell no. So what do you think it is, doc? I don't know, but you need to get the hell out of here and go back to your PCP because I'm not going to be responsible.
Don't even go home. Straight to the emergency room.
Listen, you need to go to urgent care, the emergency. Matter of fact, go straight to the OR because something is wrong. Okay. Yeah. But yeah,
my mom got her MRI results back. Remember I told you my mom's been having migraines forever and ever.
Oh yeah.
And she finally had one that wouldn't go away. Mm-hmm. And I called her and she was like, "Yeah, I was on FaceTime with a friend and she said my face, I was slurring my words and my face kind of looked droopy." And I said, "Are you kidding? Go to the ER." She's like, "Well, I had the MRI yesterday, so surely if they saw something, they'd call me."
Oh my god, they can't see you having a stroke in real time.
You're hemorrhaging. Like all I can see is just like this bleed. Expanding in her head. She drives me insane.
People are the worst.
But her headache hasn't gone away.
Really?
And so she finally got the MRI results back and she was like, "Can you read it?" Blah. So I was reading it. It was literally just like migraines.
Yeah.
That's all.
She just suffers from chronic migraines.
She's like, what do they say? Chronic microvascular ischemia of the the thing that's on every CT.
Yeah.
And I said, "You're just like every other old person. Your brain is just getting old."
Your mom's gonna kill you.
You're fine. Yeah, she will.
Yeah, but I think, there is definitely a disparity, I feel like. And it's just like between PT and OT. PT and OT, I think, here's what I didn't know about occupational therapy.
I'm so interested.
So what I didn't realize, and I guess we kind of technically are in the rehab corner, but whatever. What I didn't realize about occupational versus physical therapy is that you guys were taught that we were the enemy. Yes. Just like we were taught that chiropractors were our enemy. And I'm like, how the hell are PTs and OT enemies when we work directly together? So when OTs hate PTs, we're just like, PTs are oblivious. We're like, well, what the hell are you upset about? Like, we're brothers and sisters. Like, we can't work without each other. And you're like, you fucking bitch. It's like, oh, okay.
I don't know if I was taught, but definitely when I was in school, there was this era of, hey, the physical therapists don't give a shit about you or what you do. They'll probably speak over you and speak at you and think that they are better than you. And you just have to go in there and assert yourself and make sure they know that you're important.
But I think that's so horrible to teach somebody that, because the thing is, you could break that cycle if you had PTs and OTs taking classes together. Like, especially
we did take classes with PTs.
Not at my school. We didn't.
We took all of our general anatomy, Our anatomy and physiology, our neuro, and like our first patient care class, they were all with PTs.
We never took a class in my particular program. We never took a class with OTs. We usually like OTs were in the classroom that we had our class, and we were like, hurry the fuck up and get out of here so we can start our class. But that was any other class. It didn't matter if it was OTs. But even in our professionalism classes, when you're talking about intro to whatever, health sciences or whatever, professionalism, that should have been done with OTs and PTs. And so you could understand the importance of collaboration and not that we're enemies, because you force us to be enemies in school. And then in clinical practice, you say, well, go ahead and collaborate and communicate with your OTs. And then you wonder why the communication is so shitty. It's because somebody told you I was your enemy and I'm not.
It's just hard because there is such a personality difference across the board.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's stereotypical. Like PTs are very cut and dry. They're very like barbaric. Jockey, barbarian people, and they are for the most part. Like 99% of them are.
Absolutely, I agree.
And OTs are very flower child, whole body. Let's talk about it.
Glitter and paint.
Yes. Work through our hands and our feelings. There's an alternative way to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of people. And it's very like, we will butt heads because they're like, let's just go there. And we're like, well, maybe we could try this way, or the patient's expressing it this way, or maybe yada, yada, yada.
And PTs were very controlling. So anytime we know time constraints, we're just trying to keep it organized. We're very type A. Most PTs, their personalities are very type A. I have not run into a physical therapist that is not type A. And I have not run into an occupational therapist who is not a flower child, just in their everyday personality life. And when we don't have control, or when somebody else in the room tries to assert their control, it's like, okay, here's what we're not going to do.
Yeah.
And
it's the job. Like, you're never going to do exactly the same thing with every patient, but it's very like, this is the issue.
Yeah.
We'll do these exercises or this exercise or this exercise, or we'll walk this distance, or we're going to do it this way and see what the result is.
Exactly.
Whenever we walk in a room, we're like, oh shit, all right, well, let's try a little bit of this or maybe a little bit of that, or we're going to see how this goes, or what's going on here. We don't have exercises that we follow. Like y'all are the exercise people. I always say ask PT. I don't know. We're just more like grand scheme.
Yeah.
I feel like you're micro and we're macro.
You think we're micro?
Yeah.
I feel like we're macro and you guys are micro.
Oh, I don't feel that way.
Really?
I feel like I'm looking like far away, whole body, grand scheme, and y'all are like, this is what, like in this box, this muscle group. This is what I want to see, because this will lead to this, that leads to that leads to this, and then we can get this whole thing working.
See, the reason why I think you guys are why we are more macro is because we're just like, Mr. Johnson, can you walk? Okay, that's all we care about. Big scheme. Can you walk without falling and busting your head? OT, y'all work on feeding. We don't care if they can feed themselves. We don't care if they can dress. You can walk around butt naked and hungry. I don't care.
See, to me, the big scheme is like morning routine.
Yeah.
Like the whole morning routine.
Yeah, and we don't care about that.
Can you dress yourself? Can you process this? Can you sequence this?
Yeah.
Can you safely yada, yada, yada? You're like up and down.
Up and down. That's it.
Down the hall and back. You got
up
it?
and down.
Y'all are good.
But I think, too, if PTs and OTs understood this dynamic and respected each other for where we are and not try to change you for, because you are a discipline that is needed, because we don't think about what you guys think about, and you guys don't think about what we think about. I mean, I remember I had I had a colleague I had a student at the time, and this patient was able to stand, walk, do whatever, right? The OT says, well, I definitely am going to recommend rehab. And so my student says, well, I'm going to recommend home. And then my student comes back to me and she's like super upset and like crying, but not crying because she's sad, just crying because she's mad. And I'm like, what is going on with you? And she's like, Monica, I just cannot deal with this OT. And I'm like, oh, Lord, what the heck happened? So I went to the OT and I was like, hey, what's going on? Like, hey, God, what's up? Meteor? And so the therapist says, oh, well, I definitely think that the patient needs to go to rehab. I think they need 24-hour supervision. And I was like, interesting. So can you walk with me through the process of, what things you found in your evaluation? Because, of course, I let my student do her thing with the occupational therapist as far as doing a co-eval. And she says, well, the patient can't comb his hair. And I was like, okay, and what else? Well, he was complaining of knee pain. Okay. So he's a 70-year-old with a bad knee. Interesting. I got a bad knee and I'm 36. What's your point? And because he can't comb his hair, and she literally could not give me anything other than that as to why this man needed 24-hour supervision. And I'm like, we're going to have to agree to disagree. But she was so adamant on that. this patient needed to go to rehab because he couldn't comb his hair. Who gives a crap about your hair?
Yeah.
Nobody cares about you. I mean, obviously OT cares about your hair, right? But as a PT, I could care. You have a wife at home, okay? You have equipment at home, i.e. a cane or a walker. If you don't fall and bust your head in my presence, you're going home.
Yeah, and from my perspective, I've had PTs that are like, they're fine to go home. We walked 200 feet. He's doing great.
Yeah.
I go in to see him. He gets up. He's walking in circles. He puts a fork in the outlet. He puts his socks on his hands. And I'm like, sir, you can't go home. And the PT's like, well, he's
Well,
fine.
what's the
He
problem?
got up and walked. He didn't lose his balance. And I was
Yeah.
like, he doesn't know where the hell he is or what's going on.
It's not my problem as a PT.
Exactly. So it's frustrating to be like, this person can go home. They don't have
Right.
or like they're walking fine, but they don't have hands. So how are they going to do anything?
And I think the sad part is too that in our career, you know, people will bypass what OT has to say and
Oh,
OT's opinion
always.
and just go straight to the PT. Oh, so Mr. Johnson overdosed on his cardiac meds? We don't care. PT said he's safe to go home.
They're like, why is he here? Oh, he couldn't open his pill bottles and he couldn't remember where he put his medicines or how to organize them. So he hasn't taken his meds in 3 months.
Yeah. And they're like, but can he walk?
Oh yeah,
Is he
send him
walking?
home.
Yeah,
I'm like,
send him home.
y'all are wild.
Yeah, we're so barbaric. And the thing is, it's not that we don't care about those things. That is just not in our brains the big scheme of things, because it's not our job to fix that or to help them with it, because we are gross motor, you are fine motor. So that's your job, and you're cognitive. So it's like, well, we're not going to step on the toes of that. But if there's ever a time where OT will be like, this patient is super unsafe, blah, blah, blah. Even if I see, you know, that, okay, they're good to go home, they're a little wobbly, whatever. If it's a genuine concern, I will go in and change my recommendation and be like, okay, you definitely can benefit from having both of these disciplines, but more OT than PT, because again, if this patient is going to go home, and yes, you can walk perfectly fine and your balance is, you know, somewhat okay. But if you're going to overdose on cardiac meds, you're going to be right back here. So let's just go ahead and get the therapy that you need to be able to sequence and do what you need. So,
well, that's the hard part too, where I'm like, functionally you can go home, but your blood pressure drops so bad when you stand that you'll fall down the stairs, but you don't cognitively understand that you have to sit up and wait
exactly
5 minutes before you get up.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do with those people? This job is hard. No one told you that in school.
Oh, they told us.
No one told me that. Maybe they did. I probably wasn't listening. I barely graduated.
It's probably because you went to a PWI.
Oh,
you know,
my
HBCUs are a
God.
bit different, you know. They help prepare us for life skills, you know, because we're not just a number, you know. All right, what else is going on social media right now?
Your friend Cardi B took back her friend Offset.
Oh my God.
They went through a pretend divorce. Did they actually get divorced?
No, she just filed for it.
Oh, everyone can file for divorce.
Here's the thing. I keep forgetting that Cardi B is only, what, she turned 28?
Did she my age?
She turned 28 years old. So even though she has fame,
Bacalise?
Belcalis.
Belcalis.
What's her last name? Belcalis Salazar. Something like that. Belcalis. Anyway, I was getting ready to say Chanel Benacourt, but that's Jocelyn Hernandez. But I keep forgetting that she's 28. And here's the even bigger reality. Cardi B is a grown woman, right? She can do whatever she wants to do. But here's what I want you to stop doing. Stop telling us what you're doing in your relationship. Just do it. Like, just stop telling us what you're going to do. Like, oh, I'm divorcing. Oh, Cardi B filed for divorce.
Listen, y'all, I'm just a crazy bitch. That's what
Is that what she tweeted?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She might have said it on a live. You know how I be arguing with y'all on social media. This is my Cardi B voice.
Oh,
That's
okay.
exactly how we are between me and my man. So when people be saying, I don't do shit for attention with this and that. No, I'm just a crazy bitch. One day I'm happy. The next day I want to beat a N-word
What is that
up.
noise?
Cars.
Oh, I was like, what kind of music are you playing in the background? But never mind.
It's really not hard to talk to your best friend. And it's really hard to have no dick.
So you just didn't want to add another body count. Interesting.
Ooh.
Well, isn't it the reason why she filed for divorce is because he cheated on her yet again?
Yeah. But he also did throw hands for her in that club, remember?
Cardi B don't need you to throw no hands for her. Cardi
But
B
he
is.
did it anyway.
Have you ever seen Cardi B fight at the Love and Hip Hop reunion and her sister
Dude,
Hennessy?
her scenes on Love and Hip Hop in the
What
early
was the
days,
reason?
they're so good.
Cardi
If
B just
you
made Love and Hip Hop.
Need your day to be turned around 180 completely.
Yeah.
Go watch early Cardi B on Love and Hip Hop.
Cardi B was hilarious. She was made for like must-see TV. But I just think, not even just with her, but other people. Just if you know that you're gonna break up and like stay together, just stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. And then I know it was her birthday this past week, and he bought her another Bentley, which as if she couldn't buy herself a Bentley, but whatever. I guess
It's
the
nice
thought that
when
counts.
someone else does it for you.
But y'all
If
married.
anyone
Isn't it
wants to
coming
buy,
out?
even though right now I can afford at least a Honda Civic, it would be nice if someone would buy one for me.
Listen, if somebody bought me a Honda Civic, I would be so grateful because I'm looking for a second car anyway because I have this big old truck and I'm trying to conserve on gas. Thanks. But also too, I just think, it's nobody's business. I just wish people like celebrities would just stop putting their business out. Like I know we all think that they're our best friends in our head and all that kind of stuff, and we want to know, but sometimes we just don't need to know.
Yeah, but she's never been good at being famous. Like she
No.
lets everything everyone says get to her, and she
Yeah.
has to go on Instagram Live and say something about it. Like, girl, just go. You're rich as shit.
Yeah.
you are one of the top female. No, you're one of the top rappers out
not
right
even
now. Not even female.
Exactly.
Everyone loves you. You gave us the WAP. You gave us Bodak Yellow, a
Right.
freaking cult classic,
Seriously, that
a
still bangs
calling
now.
card.
Yeah. Be careful.
That was a call to arms. But
Yeah.
girl, just you don't need anybody.
You really
and you
don't.
definitely don't need us.
Yeah.
Just mute your social media, mute the comments.
Yeah, because even too with I guess at the birthday party when he bought her the Bentley, Offset bought Culture, which is their daughter, an $8,000 car seat. Here's the thing, we don't need to know that the car seat was $8,000. Like you bought her a Bentley, that was enough.
You know who probably told us was Bethany Frankel.
Because Bethany Frankel cares about
I
everybody.
can't believe you're flaunting an $8,000 car seat and we're in a pandemic.
Yeah.
You got to find your happiness where you can, man.
You really
we're in a
can.
pandemic.
You really got to. And I mean, I think Offset, I believe from what I see on social media, he appears to be a very good father. I haven't heard any of his baby mamas say that he doesn't take care of their kids or anything like that. But again, sir, if you're going to continue to cheat on Cardi B, just stop. Like, first of all, just stop. And if you can't stop, go ahead and just get divorced because that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it's just dumb. Stop cheating. And then Cardi B, if you're going to accept it, and then stop talking about it. Just,
But just like,
I'm a
if
fan of Cardi B.
I know. If you show me multiple times that you're a cheater, all right, that's on your character. I get it. You're surrounded by these beautiful women. You have
Yeah.
all this money. Then go be free. I can't tame you, so I got to stop trying.
Yeah. Well, even with there was this interview that I saw with Kevin Gates and his wife Drika, and how Kevin Gates, has had a history, unfortunately, of cheating on her.
Infidelity.
And the thing is, she made in the comments, she was like, first of all, his infidelity has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with me. I didn't force him to go out there.
She came to preach today, huh?
Right. And she was like, that's more of a character flaw in him. And I totally agree with you, Ms. Drika. But at what point do you say, okay, you did it once, I forgave you, and then you keep making the same choice because it's not a mistake? Because again, a mistake made more than once is a choice and is a pattern.
She's choosing to enjoy her life the way it is and choosing to keep him in it.
Here's the thing. I cannot honestly and consciously say that if I were married to a multimillionaire and billionaire, I wouldn't put up with that either.
That's what it's cost and reward, you know?
Risk versus benefit.
Risk versus, I'm just like, if I'm living this luxury ass life and I have these kids and we're just thotting and bopping and you're doing what you want anyway, you're on tour most of the time, or out playing games or saving the world as a superhero, I don't give a shit. You're out of the house.
Yep.
We're chilling over here. The kids love me more. I didn't sign a prenup. When I want to leave, I'll leave. But right now.
Now, here's the thing, Tyrone. You ain't going to be working at the Chicken Shack cheating on me like that. No.
No. We're talking like 6 figs worth of...
7
worth of cheating on me. You're right. I'm worth 7 figures to be cheated on.
Billionaire. Bill Gates.
I will not sell myself short.
Listen, Bill Gates, I know you're married now, but I'm just saying. Or Jeff Bezos. Let's use him because I think he's single. Allegedly.
He is. He's also the devil.
He's the devil, but here's the thing. I can live on the other side of the house. Matter of fact, I can live in my own house. Okay? You can have all the orgy parties you want to in here. Ain't gonna bother me. As long as my bill's paid.
I'll be in bed by 8:30.
Pretty much. Because I'll have me something on the side too. Hey, poor boy.
Exactly.
How you doing?
So I think people just stay... with her, I don't know. I think there's some deep-rooted stuff there. I think they're toxic and they love each other. But
Yeah.
So I don't know, because she's making money too.
She is, and I think right now she's definitely hotter than him at this point, because Migos haven't come out with an album in a while, and she's still
what they do sounds
music.
just like their last album.
That very true, and then even both of them came out with single projects, Quavo and Offset, which I think both of their albums are amazing. I felt like Quavo's album was way better, but anyway, neither here. That's just
Maybe
personal
because
preference.
Quavo's all booed up with Sweetie, and so Offset was like, "Well, shit."
I think I just like Quavo's ad libs more. Got it, sue it, yeah.
Is that what they sound like?
That's literally what they sound like over a tight ass beat.
Bad and Do you remember when Bad and Bougie came out?
What you been talking about on Bad and Bougie? You don't remember
Bad and Bougie?
Who don't Bad and Bougie? What? You don't remember Bad and Bougie? Bad and Bougie. What are you saying, sir?
Leaned out.
He talking about excuse me to what? Excuse me to what?
Holiday Hoobie Woody? Exactly. So yeah, I hope she's happy. Shouts out to Culture. She's so damn cute.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. So cute.
Lakers won the championship.
Yes, the Lakers did.
I haven't been following the NBA at all. I'm so depressed.
I kind of forgot they were still playing.
I'm just like, I don't want to watch you in Disney World with fake fans.
Yeah, listen.
It ain't it for me.
These little Zoom meetings that they had worth of an NBA, I was just like, you see people in the background eating, doing all kind of crazy stuff, and you just like, you hear no cheers. You hear nothing.
You just see people waving the arms.
Yeah, it's just like screech, 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 all the little shoes screeching on the,
I cannot wait to see a game live again. Any game. I'll take it. I'd watch baseball at this point.
Oh God.
And that's
I hate
saying
baseball.
something.
Well, here's the thing. I think my personal opinion is that the Lakers had to win this year, like whether it was rigged or not, because Kobe Bryant passed away. And that's kind of like paying homage because they haven't won another champion. You know, this is the first championship they've won in I don't know how many years. And the last one that they won, obviously Kobe Bryant was on the team. So
Do you
I
think the season was already a wash? And
Absolutely.
They just came to Adam Silver was like, just give it to him.
Just give it to him. We got it. We're going to they're talking about changing the NBA logo, the little jump man or whatever to Kobe Bryant's little jump man or whatever. So I think it was kind of rigged. I mean, I think the Miami Heat, from what I heard from social media, because again, I didn't watch the game, but I think the Miami Heat really played their hearts out, really played their butts off. But I think
it all on the court.
They did, but I think obviously they also knew that we gonna have to get this one of them. Not saying that these guys didn't earn it. I'm not saying that they didn't play a great games and all this other kind of stuff, left it all on the floor. But I definitely think that it was gonna happen that the Lakers won.
Yeah. I'm just ready for everything this year to be over.
Yeah.
Like the sport, like everything that was on a series or a continuum or whatever. I just want to call it quits, move on, open it back up. January. The world should be closed until January.
I was honestly not upset when the economy shut down. I was not. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's because she has a stockpile in her garage.
I'm an introvert and I don't like people. So to be able to drive to work, first of all, on a normal day, it usually takes me like 35 minutes to get to work. When the pandemic hit, bitch, I was getting to work in like 17 minutes.
That's insane.
Yeah. And I wasn't even going fast. I was just like, ooh, this is like what happens when there's a holiday and nobody's on the road. It was amazing. I mean, obviously the grocery stores are packed, but still being able to go home and drive home with no traffic, I was like, it's so peaceful right now. And I'm an introvert. So it was great for me.
Then we had to get buck wild and open everything back up.
Yeah. And people are still dying out here with COVID. People are still, it's not real. It's not real. Okay.
Oh, it's real.
No.
I'm not telling y'all again.
You go get COVID, get put on a ventilator, get put on ECMO, and then we'll have a conversation. Oh, I'm sorry. You have a tube down your goddamn throat. Can't talk.
Those are the best kinds of conversations.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, did you think the coronavirus was
I do
fake? I thought it was fake, and now I know it's real. Mm-hmm.
My favorite is I'll go into someone's room who's on the vent, and I'll start asking questions.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. All right. I'll be like, all right, I'm going to ask yes, no questions. Just nod your head. And then I'm like, oh, well, still the tube, damn it.
I know.
So I'm like, all right, squeeze my fingers.
Yeah, because
yes
you know
or
they're
no.
going to be in restraints at some point.
Yeah. So
yeah. So you're like, you live in a
but I feel
one-story or
so
two-story
bad
house?
because I'm always like, hey, how are you? Can you tell me your name? Where do you live? And I'm like, oh, right. You can't talk.
You can't talk. Because you come in and try to be so chipper and they're just like,
dude, I'd be so frustrated.
I have a tube
Don't
down
come in
my
my room
throat.
if I'm on a vent. I'll be
not
like,
only do
straight
I
up
have
like
a tube
this.
down my throat, but I'm in restraints and I can't move. And you want to,
and we all have that same fucking voice.
We do.
High pitched therapist voice.
Good morning.
Hello.
Like
Did
we're
I
Nurse
wake
Ratched.
you up?
It's like Yes, I'm trying to fight off sedation, but you actually did.
Oh, were you taking a nap?
Were you taking a nap? I'm sorry. We got to get up.
But you're in a fucking hospital, so.
Yeah, we're going to come and bother you every 2 seconds to make sure you're still breathing. Put our finger up underneath your nose, even if you're on a vent. It doesn't matter. Even though there's nothing coming out of your nose, but still.
Did you see the Scott Peterson trials getting reopened?
Oh, God.
2004, killed his wife and unborn child.
Why is it coming back open?
I'll tell you why. Because lawyers are crummy people. And his lawyers found out that one of the jurors in his case was untruthful when she said that she hadn't been involved in a crime before or a prior incident.
So what does that have to do with his sentence? You still killed your wife and unborn child.
Because if you can find any way to be like, well, there was something in this case that wasn't on the up and up. So
he pled guilty, did he not?
I don't know.
I could have sworn he pled not guilty and then he changed his
to guilty
plea
afterwards,
to guilty.
so he get a lesser sentence.
I think so.
I don't know. So
Somebody fact check me.
supposedly this lady had said that she had never been involved in like a previous incident or whatever, but it came out that she had put a restraining order on her boyfriend's girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And they were like, well, she did that. And then she really wanted to be involved in this case. Like she even though she wasn't getting paid, she said she wanted to do it even though she'd be off work and yada, yada, yada. So we just think we had an impartial jury and all this other bullshit.
How were you impartial when everybody on the jury said...
That was 16 years ago.
But my thing is, there wasn't an impartial jury. It wasn't like it was like a 5-1 or 5-6. Like everybody was like, bitch, you guilty.
So yeah. Can you imagine being her family? I'd die.
Like, first of all, stop fighting for your freedom, sir. You know you killed your wife and your unborn child. Just sit in there and think about the consequences of your negative actions, okay? Like, stop.
Men are trash. That's why I need you to watch The American Murder.
Well, I'm not going to watch it tonight because, I don't like watching stuff like that at night. Even though I watch Criminal Minds, but Criminal Minds is a bit...
Oh, I can't watch Criminal Minds by myself.
Really? I watch it all the time. It scares the crap out of me.
But I'm also so convinced someone wants to kidnap me.
I'm a little less unkidnappable because I'm fat.
You're also louder.
Yes, so I'm gonna scream.
I also would be flattered, But
my thing is, I'm. People are gonna like if we're both walking down the street. Mm-hmm. They're gonna a white man with no windows rolls up. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, get the light skinned one," because you're skinnier than me. They're like, "No, we ain't gonna even try to get this big bitch in this car."
They're like, and by the time she gets to someone to tell them what happened, we'll be long gone.
Yeah, and we're gonna be out of breath trying to drag. Like, can you imagine dragging her big butt? No, get the other one. Get the lighter one.
I'm pretty dense.
You're dense, but you're smaller than me.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I think if someone kidnapped me, I'd literally for the rest of my life just be like, oh, that time I was kidnapped. Like out of everyone you could have picked, sir, you picked me. I'm special and you knew it. That's why you took me.
You have been watching too much Criminal Minds because the people on Criminal Minds actually purposefully stalk these people. But people who are just kidnapping for the black market, they don't care who you are. They just gonna be like, your size, your height. Okay, you're good. I think that's why I like being a big girl because nobody's thinking about kidnapping me. Nobody.
It is nice to not have to worry about it.
Yeah. I'm
always on high alert.
No, I'm not. But Criminal Minds does make me hug my gun a little tighter at night. So usually if I watch and it's always on Saturday. So every time I watch a Criminal Minds marathon, I instead of the gun being on my dresser, it's literally in the bed with me.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I won't come and scare you at night then.
Please don't. Please don't. It won't end well. It won't.
Oh my God. Have you seen Birds of Prey?
No.
With Margot Robbie?
Never
mind. Don't worry about it.
You don't want to talk about it though?
She has this big gun, but all the bullets are like glitter bombs and paint bombs and stuff. That's the kind of gun I want.
Man, what's the purpose of having that? You can't do nothing with that.
It's like bean bags. Like, poof, she hits people in the head and they pass out, and like, poof, she hits them in the chest with a glitter bomb and they like get knocked back. It's a movie.
I was gonna say, have you never heard Dave Chappelle's comedy show special when he was talking about the buckshot versus the bird shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the meth addicts. You hit them with a buckshot, they gonna get back up. You better get you one of them hollow points where they spread in the body and kill you all at once and from the inside out.
Good old Dave Chappelle.
Good old Dave Chappelle. Anything else?
That's all I got for you, I think.
Didn't Nicki Minaj have her baby?
Nicki Minaj congrats to Nicki. I don't know if she got my gift yet.
What did you send her?
Diaper cake.
That's so nice.
Yeah, I know. We're friends.
She'll probably throw it out because she's like, coronavirus going on.
She's like, these are not Gucci diapers.
Or Prada.
What did she name?
I don't know. Did she even release whether it's a boy or girl?
Jeremiah Mirage Petty.
Wait, what?
Jeremiah Mirage Petty.
Why is her name in never mind.
Oh wait,
It's her baby.
a fan wrote that and then deleted it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why is her name in the baby? Like, here's the thing I don't understand about parents. Like, I get it, you have a legacy name. I totally get that. But why can't the baby just have the dad's name and call it a day? Like, not be a junior, but just have the father's last name and call it a day. Why do you have to insert your name in there as well?
People are real weird about last names.
They are.
Do you want your baby to have your last name?
No.
Wait, are you going to take your husband's name if you get married?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm dropping Fleming. You doggone right. So this will be
You don't want
the
to be
face
Fleming
off with
anymore?
somebody else in Fowler.
Really?
Yeah,
You're
I'm-
just saying bye to your name, huh?
Absolutely.
All that work you did so you wouldn't be Dr. Fleming anymore.
That's right. I'm okay with that.
That's insane.
I mean, my degrees are still gonna say, my maiden name. But even like my mom, when her and my dad got married, she did not drop her maiden name. She just added on his name.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So I think it made it a lot easier too, because she didn't have to go back to the DMV and do all this extra stuff. She just had to add a name versus taking one off. And then some people even like drop their middle name and add on. So they drop their middle name.
Your maiden name is your middle
Your
name.
middle name, exactly.
I
But
like
no, I'm
that.
dropping Fleming. When I get married, I'm dropping Fleming. You doggone right.
Wow.
Absolutely. And I'm not hyphenating it, nothing. I'm dropping
This is
it.
very interesting.
I mean, I love my father, and I love the legacy that he has left that's within me that will carry on. All my degrees still have his name on them, and I'm grateful for that. So that can never be erased or never taken away. But you doggone right, I'm getting a new license and a new passport with my married name up on that mug.
I just don't want someone to think they're special enough for me to give up my name.
Listen, I'm gonna be that wife that's just like, yeah, because my husband is coming home. Yeah, because my husband likes this. Well, yeah, I was on the phone with my husband yesterday. I'm definitely gonna wear the hell out of that statement.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, you think forever or just like the first year?
Probably like the first year and a half.
Okay.
Probably the first 6 months. I'll probably forget.
I want to be the girl that gets married and no one even knows,
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to have a wedding though.
Oh, that's weird. I definitely want a party for sure. You don't want a wedding?
No, I'll do like Solange did, have like 12 people there,
All in white.
and that's it. Yeah. People are like, it's always a girl's dream to have the biggest wedding. Who about to pay for that? No.
So you're down. You want the Jeezy type of lifestyle.
No. Jeezy?
Jeezy.
You mean like submission? Oh, let's talk about it. So Jeannie Mai,
I always say her name wrong.
yeah, I'm not a fan of her, but anyway. So
She
Jeannie
says
Mai,
some controversial things, that lady.
I just think her voice is annoying. So Jeannie Mai posted.
She sounds like Brenda Song. Brenda Song?
What was Brenda song?
Brenda Song from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior, that random Asian girl in Easy A.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody is not in my generation. I remember the show, but that is not one of mine.
She's just this Asian girl from Disney Channel.
Oh, then that's on racism.
She is. That's not racist.
Because all Asians are the same. You're a racist. Here's my question. I want to know. So Jeannie Mai was in the news this week. Excuse me, about her views on submission, and she basically said that she posted on her Instagram, by giving the power to have someone lead in your life is power in itself. The power to relinquish control. You willingly submit, not forcibly submit. Speaking of submission, submit them votes Monday night, which is great. And then Jeezy posted Miss Jenkins with a black heart. What are your thoughts on submission? This is a real pause, and I'm going to leave that pause in there.
I watch a lot of 50 Shades of Grey, so
Okay, not sexual submission.
Makes sense that I'm down with submission. I don't like the idea that someone has power over me, even if it's good power. Like, why do I need to submit to you? Isn't it more fun if we just have this like back and forth and we both hate each other and argue?
So do you believe in submission or no? In a marriage?
To the Lord.
In a marriage.
He can submit to me.
So a man can submit to you.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Interesting. So here's where we're gonna face off, because I already knew we were gonna differ on this subject. I look at submission so differently, and I think it was because of the example that I had in my household growing up. I don't think submission is about control whatsoever, and the reason why I say that is because when you are married, you all have made a covenant, right? You all have agreed to be able to now two entities push one vision. I don't believe that a man and a woman, when you get married, or a man and a woman, whatever, that when you get married, now 50% of yourself is cut, 50% of themselves is cut, so that you guys are now one, or one whole, That does not make any sense. You are a whole individual. They are a whole individual, and you all push forth one vision for the both of you and for your legacy, your children, and your family. What happens is that you cannot have two leaders pushing one vision. Someone is going to have to be the head and someone has to be the neck. And I think that women fail to realize that the head cannot turn without the neck. And I think what Jeannie Mai was saying here, I'm going to play the clip as well, but what I think she was saying here is that there is so much power in being the neck. Because think about it. You go to work every day and don't you submit to the vision and the mission of the company that you work for?
For that check, yes, I do.
Exactly. So you're getting a benefit, correct?
That would be correct.
Exactly. In marriage, you also get benefits, right? So
if you marry someone that's freaking evolved enough to realize
true
that,
but why would you marry someone who doesn't understand that?
For the money. Oh. I'm kidding.
I hate you so much.
I'm just saying I understand what you're saying and it works, but like I don't know. I feel like people get desperate and do desperate things and marry desperate people and then they submit to them and they're living in this shit life.
Here's the thing. Submission only comes with a vision. And if you do not have vision, sir, madam, whomever, as the spouse, why are you marrying someone that has no vision?
People do stuff.
No, I know. Oh, no. I know that. But I'm just saying, I personally would not marry a man who has no vision for his life. Okay? Because if you don't have a vision, we ain't going nowhere. We just running around in circles like stupid people. That makes no sense. You would never work for a company that has in a career, not just a job, but in a career, you would not work for a company or willingly work for a company that, number one, cannot advance you. Number two, does not give you any experience to grow. Number three, that does not have any benefits, right? It's the same thing in marriage. Why in the hell would I marry somebody who has no benefits package, who has no growth package, and who has no protection package? That means that I shouldn't submit to you. And I think a lot of women feel like submission is control, and it's not. The reason why you look at a man as having control over you is because you're with a man with no vision. And that's part of the problem. It is so easy for us to submit to a job. You come in here for 8 hours a day. Submission number one. You take your 30-minute break. That's submission number two. You do the work to get a job. That's submission number three. Why is it so hard for you to submit in a relationship? And submission only comes with the purpose of marriage. I'm not submitting to no boyfriend for what? However, there is a level of, because here's the thing, in marriage, men submit to the woman as well. The husband does submit to the wife. Let's be clear. It's not all about a one-sided situation, because if I tell you as a wife, listen, my car is broke down, it ain't working, right? You're going to have to submit to the household, and you're going to have to submit to the budget that, you need to make some room in this budget because I need another car. Okay. If your expectations or your goals in your marriage is that the wife does all the cooking, the wife does all the cleaning. Now, if you walk into that willingly, and this is why, again, you have these conversations about what it is marriage means to you. But I think submission is such a beautiful thing. And if more people looked at submission as, even if one of the spouse is, because we're gonna do it a gender neutral kind of situation. Even if one of the people are the head, right, doesn't mean they have full control. Big Ed, can he turn his neck? No,
not very much. No, he cannot.
That man got to turn his whole body in order to turn his head. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna be walking around here looking like Ed from 90 Day Fiance.
I don't want a big Ed marriage. I don't want that.
Exactly. You don't want a big Ed marriage. So the thing is, the neck has more control than the actual head.
You understand? I'll have to marry a 65-year-old man to be with someone who understands this. Yes. Who understands that at 27?
No one at 27.
No one. I don't have to marry someone who's 55.
What about 30s? You're skipping a whole group of people.
Oh my God, 30 trash. He's probably in his first marriage still. I got to get to him after that.
Why do you keep having this obsession with a starter marriage?
I just think that it's common.
No, it's not.
Is it not common? Do you not know a lot of people in marriages right now that you think are going to end? Oh, I hope all the people I know in marriages right now end. I'm just kidding. I don't mean
Alyssa,
that.
Oh my God.
I don't mean
Everybody doesn't have starter marriages. But I think you just have to be clear and concise. I think people take out of context that, I don't think that her use of the word control. I don't think you should ever put submission with control.
But doesn't that what submission means? You're yielding to a higher force. I swear, look it up. What is submission?
No. You're talking about a standard definition. We're talking about in marriage. The higher goal is the vision that you all set in your marriage. For the vision that you all have for your family, where you want to be financially, where you want to be spiritually, what you want to have intimately, sexually, kids, all that kind of stuff. So when you set the goals for your marriage, or you set the tone for your marriage, both of you have to submit to the plan of how it's going to take place. There are many people who make the man can make the money, but the woman controls the bills in the house. So does that then make her the one that he needs to be submissive to her? No, doesn't mean control. It just means that you are pushing forth the vision, and this is how we're going to do it.
I'm sure that's a good idea. And if you find someone that you love, when you find someone that you love and you're like, let's do this, that probably makes sense. But the idea now that I let someone be like in control of any part of my life, not even in control, but just like have, I don't know, a 50% stake in any part of my life, I couldn't be me right now.
That's a beautiful thing, man, to be able to share this world with somebody else. And you're not controlling me. Because again, I think too, when people come to the idea of marriage and they just say, oh, we're two people that came together as one. No, we're not. Yeah. I'm a whole ass person. You're a whole ass person. Nothing about me diminishes because I get married to you. If anything, we should both advance together. So if you want to, I'm 100%, you're 100%, bitch. We 200% pushing forth this goal, this one vision of our family and of our legacy that we're trying to leave here.
It would just have to be a very rich or special person at this point.
A rich person is probably going to be like, that's going to be a control situation. That's not going to be true submission.
It'll be more fun submission because I'll be on a yacht. I'd love to be submitted on a yacht.
Oh, you better ask these housewives.
He'd let me make a restaurant. I'll call it Alyssa's
And you
Lounge.
have no control. You would literally, that would be jail. That's jail. That's straight prison.
You know what's jail? These student loan payments that I had to pay.
Now that is true. Now, aren't you submissive to Sally Mae? Exactly.
To the government, to the U.S. government.
But you're submissive. It's amazing how we can be submissive to everything else in our life. You are submissive to your mortgage company. You are submissive to your car payment, loan person. You're submissive to your job. You're submissive to your church. You can be submissive to everybody except for the person you are building a life with. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because most of the TV tells me they're trash, and I believe it. I watch enough reality television to know.
That who's trash or what's trash? Men are not trash.
I'm sorry, just general.
Just the men that you've dealt with.
Yeah, men are trash.
The men that you have dealt with, say it with me. The men that I have dealt with.
I just live my life
like it's golden,
with the lens that men are trash.
But I think you need to take that lens off.
Why? It's fun.
Listen, I've had relationships.
You don't know what fun we're having over here. You come over here.
Listen, I have been in relationships that have not worked out. I still don't think those men were trash. I believe that those men were not ready for me. That's it.
It's a very positive outlook.
But it's the truth.
I think anyone, male or female, who I don't like is trash.
I mean, I've dated guys who are now married with kids. You just weren't the one for me. Now, in the moment when I was trying to get over you, I thought you were straight a piece of shit. Not even trash. You are a piece of pure dog shit. Mm-hmm. But then once maturity steps in, you're just like, you know what? You're not a bad person. You're just not the person for me.
So you're telling me I'm not mature?
Basically.
That's extremely rude, and we need to cut that from our podcast.
No. But the thing is, you're 26.
I'm like haggard. I feel old as shit.
Well, I'm telling you, when you turn, I cannot wait for the day you turn 36 because I'm gonna replay this podcast for you, and you're gonna be sitting there with 13 kids. A lady in the shoe had so much kids she didn't know what to do with your husband. Henry sitting over there. No, Bartholomew. That's gonna be his name.
Oh, Bart.
And you're gonna be over there like Bartholomew. I love him so much. I couldn't imagine my life without him. Yes, your whole voice is gonna change.
Couldn't be me.
Oh,
we'll see.
Listen, 10 years. Oh, in 10 years. Gag. Yo, I'm so happy that we're recording this podcast because her children are going to be able to hear this and be like, Mom, this is what you really thought? Oh my God. As soon as Dad comes in, you're taking his briefcase, you're taking his socks off and massaging his back. Watch. That's going to be you.
I don't fuck with acts of service. Not my love language.
What's your love language?
Gifts. Duh.
Why did I even ask that? I'm not even surprised.
I am who I is.
I'm not even surprised.
I love a gift. I love giving a gift to myself.
Treat yourself. As Greta would say, treat yourself.
Wow, he really preached today. We'll see. I don't know.
I think you'll change your mind once you.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
sure that people who are in love with other people are like, hell yeah, I'd do anything for this person. They could tell me some crazy ass shit and we'd be rocking together, ride together, die together. Bad marriage for life.
No, absolutely not. Mm-mm. First of all, why do I have to die? Okay, forget the bad marriage. Why is it I need to ride or die? Bitch, why we got to die every time we ride?
Because if one of you's not riding.
Nah, why I can't just be at home?
No.
Why I can't just be at home chilling with the kids?
Nope.
I'm not dying for you.
You're not a rider.
Listen, you right. I guess I'm not, because I'm not dying for you. First of all, if you are involving me in activities that will cause me to die, you are not for me.
Not the one?
Not the 1, 2, or 3.
I only want someone who will die for me, so.
Jesus is the only one for you then.
Did die
He
for
died
me.
for you already.
God, great
What more do
man.
you want from him?
Me and Jesus like this.
I guess that's who you're marrying then.
I am married to the Lord. You know what? That's right. Put that on this podcast. Alyssa Fowler, she's married to the Lord.
Because
Tell
as
my
for me in
mama,
this house,
we serve the Lord.
That's right. Anything else?
On that note, I don't think we can get much higher than that.
That's very true. All right. Well, that's it, I think.
Everyone go out there this week and submit to somebody.
Oh, you were supposed to talk about the BBMAs and chants in New York.
I didn't watch the BBMAs. And
Yeah, I didn't either.
We can talk about New York next week.
Time. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, people.
Go out there, submit to someone, and
Submit your vote.
let us know how it goes in the comments.
Yes, submit your vote wherever you are in your state. I don't care if it's mail-in, if it's walk-in. Hell, if you got 2 IDs, vote twice. I'm kidding. Don't vote twice. That's illegal.
She does not represent the view of this podcast. That's illegal activity.
Do you realize that the president of these United States told people to go vote twice?
I didn't say it was right. I just said it's happening.
I'm just saying. He the leader of the free world and told people to go vote twice.
And let us know. Team Candy Corn or Team Tootsie Roll.
Team Tootsie Roll all day.
You're just, dude, trash.
You eat candles. You eat colored candles.
We can't have this discussion anymore. Tootsie Roll, they dropped like M&Ms in a candle and we're like, shit, I bet I could still eat it. And that's a Tootsie Roll.
No, that's a candy corn because it's wax.
No, I'm going to go buy a literal 2-pound bag of candy corn after I leave this place.
And you're going to throw up and poop
and
your guts out.
it'll be beautiful.
You're going to poop your guts out.
It'll look a lot better than if I threw up a freaking Tootsie Roll.
You know, I did see on social media, somebody posted a meme of a candy corn with a little face, and they turned it upside down, and it literally looked like Trump, like with this white hair, and then this orange face, and then this yellow body. And that's because candy corn is trash.
You're rude. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose at least 2 of our 6 listeners because of this.
Listen, there are only 3 people in the entire world that eat candy corn. You, our coworker Cointa, and probably some weirdo out there.
Dude, I know a lot of people who.
Does your mom eat candy corn?
Yeah.
Mama Fowler.
Why do you think I eat candy corn? We have diabetes. That's how it works.
But
I don't care what the sugar is. I just want it.
There's so much better candy out there.
No, dude. We also eat circus peanuts. We're that family. You know what I'm talking about? Those orange foam peanuts.
Oh,
I know.
That says so much about your character.
I know.
Girl, I tried them things one time. I barely eat Swedish fish.
Oh, my brother loves Swedish fish.
You will never get me to eat a Swedish fish over a Sour Patch Kid.
We're just a trash family.
Y'all just don't like seasoning.
Yeah. I literally have just gotten my mom to use salt and pepper when she cooks,
Oh
basically.
my God. And that's on being white.
Full circle.
Full circle. We got to get you off that candy corn, man. Good God almighty. You need to come over to the fruity side. That's part of your problem. You're not on the fruity side.
No, candy corn is good. I don't eat it all year. It's just a Halloween thing.
Oh, so that's like candy corn is like your pumpkin spice?
Yeah.
Oh.
I love candy corn. And I don't like candy corn flavored things. I just like candy corn. Brax candy corn.
Didn't they come out with a cereal though? A candy corn cereal?
They have candy corn Oreos. Not it.
Yeah.
I'm not the one. Yeah, exactly. So that's not for me.
Yeah, barf. That's gross.
I'm just in a spooky mood. I want some candy corn.
Listen, I can't wait for Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving, but I can't wait for Halloween either.
Me too.
I'm just waiting on November 1st because that's when all the candy goes on 90%
All
off sale.
Saints Day.
Oh, what?
Oh,
What did you say?
it's All Saints Day.
I was talking about the candy going on 90% sale.
Oh, November 1st is All
That's
Saints
just
Day.
like the main 3. There's 3 days in the year to celebrate. February the 15th, not the 14th, 15th. Candy goes on 90% off sale. The day after Easter, right? Because it changes every year. 90% off sale. And November 1st, candy goes on sale.
Okay, well, for all the Catholics out there that were forced to celebrate or take school off, November 1st is All Saints Day.
What does All Saints Day mean?
It's the feast of all the saints. You celebrate the saints. Do you have a favorite saint?
Saint David Mark. Matthew, Luke,
Oh,
John.
St. David Mark. Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Did a bunch of good things.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, and Samuel. First 6 Samuel. First 6 Kings. Ezra, Nehemiah.
We love a Christian. All right. And with that,
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
those are the books
saints.
we stand upon. Those are not the saints.
They're not the saints? Who are the
Those are the
saints?
apostles.
Oh, who are the saints?
The saints are people who have been canonized. They like died doing something super godly or Christianly.
Like-
St. Patrick,
like Jesus
St.
himself?
Valentine. Jesus isn't a saint.
Jesus
Is Jesus
not
a saint? Is Jesus a
He
saint?
gave his life for the whole world. That doesn't make him a saint?
Yo, good
Maybe
thing-
because he's the father then. Because he's the father, can he not be a saint? I don't know. Is Jesus a saint? That's the ultimate sacrifice.
13 years of Catholic school, no one decided to tell me whether or not Jesus was a saint.
Yeah. I would go to say Jesus is a saint. He's the saint of all saints.
No, Jesus.
Who is this? Who says this?
Wikipedia?
So Wikipedia says he's not the saint?
Can someone just let me know if Jesus is a saint, please?
I would say he's the saint of all saints.
Saint of all saints, Lord of all lords,
King
You're
of
just
kings,
saying
Lord of lords, that's
You're
right.
just saying things. I'm pissed. If my mom was listening to this, she'd say $40,000 in tuition, Alyssa, and you don't know if Jesus is a saint.
So St. Patrick, you said St. Valentine?
Yeah, that's why we have
That's a saint?
Valentine's Day.
I thought that was a pagan holiday.
No, Halloween's a pagan holiday. There's a lot of saints. Saint John Bosco, Saint Mary Magdalene,
John the Baptist, is that a saint?
John the Baptist.
He
Saint
baptized
John
Jesus?
the Baptist. That sounds good to me.
So you said Mary Magdalene? What?
The whore who Jesus saved and wiped
She's
her
not a
face.
whore. She was a
what?
woman of the night. Say it like that.
A woman of the mic. She was a stand-up comedian.
She was a woman of the night.
She was always out there at the temple, walking around.
Listen, she broke the alabaster box. Was that her? Yes. And she washed Jesus's feet. I think that was Mary Magdalene. That please correct me. First of all,
Joan of Arc.
Here's the sad part. I've grown up in church all my life, competed in Bible bowls and everything, and I'm just like, wait, huh? I ain't been to church like the whole year, well, half the year because of COVID. People are like, oh, just watch it online. Yeah, I do sometimes, but I still
Not
don't
the same.
remember.
Yeah, no one fucks with the saints but Catholics. So I should
Yeah.
know all this, but I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not Catholic, so I don't know who the saints are.
Saint.
When the saints
John
go marching
Bosco.
in, or when the saints go marching in.
Hey.
Oh Lord, I want to be in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Do you know what that's from? You probably don't, because you're too young.
Oh, is it from Sister?
Nope.
Is it from? Nope. Have you seen that TikTok? Nope.
It's actually from A Different World, where Gina on there, that's her theme song, and she has her little twirl, and she's like, "Oh, when the saints go marching in, not out, buddy, not out, buddy." It's hilarious, but only real 80s and 90s babies will really know that. 80s, not 90s.
I wasn't alive.
Yeah, you weren't alive when it came out. Anyway, okay, we're like fiddling now with this
You're
podcast.
gonna have to cut, chop, and screw this.
We are. I'm gonna leave half of the stuff in here because I think it's hilarious. Even the Saints
Leave
part.
it. I would just cut out the part where we're like, okay, bye. Oh, actually, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Exactly. 20 more minutes of stuff. All right, you got. You are a nut. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler every Tuesday when new episodes are released.